So teacher observations are a really great place for leaders and teachers to actually learn from one another. But unfortunately, it seems that there are at least 3 reasons why teacher observations are a complete waste of time. So I know I got you with the title, but I want to ask, as a school principal, what did you learn from the last teacher observation you completed? What did the teacher actually learn from you? Did you walk away from it feeling differently? Observations have always been at risk of being something to get through instead of something to learn from, which is really unfortunate because they're a great space to learn. As a former principal, there were times when I looked at the long list of observations that I need to complete for the year, and I have to be honest, on top of the thousands of other tasks on the list, I just sometimes wanted to get through it all unscathed. But I needed to realize that I was actually part of the problem. So there are 3 reasons why formal observations are typically a waste of time. Number 1 is no new learning. The teachers observed learned nothing new during the teacher observation process. And what's actually sadder than that is the fact that the teacher never actually expected to learn anything new from the process. We should be talking about what's the aspiration of the teacher and the students. How are school leaders actually helping everybody achieve those aspirations? Social learning theory, which I love, is partly about how we can learn through conversation. Shouldn't that include the teacher and the school leader too? The observation is a perfect place to do it. Number 2, too much talk. The school leader talks more than they actually listen, pointing out a variety of positive and negative aspects without asking the teacher a lot of open-ended questions to get their understanding. And number 3, surface level feedback. Too often the feedback, if you can even call it that, is focused on surface level aspects of the classroom, such as things like making sure that the teachers have I can statements hanging up, but the principal doesn't actually talk about the focus for learning. Or maybe there's a sole focus on compliant engagement rather than authentic engagement, where the students are engaged in learning and talking. Or is the teacher pacing at the same time as their colleagues, but they never talk about the substance of the content being paced? What we know is that observations are hard work. We know that. But we know also that done right, they're actually worth the effort. So some questions to ponder. Does the principal and teacher have an agreed upon goal before the principal ever walks into the classroom? Because many don't. What has the principal been doing to help teachers actually reach that goal? Big question about support. How do we support you? Is the principal offering any resources before and after the observation was completed? Imagine what it's like to get something from your principal knowing, wow, they really cared. How will the principal and teacher know that whatever goal they agreed upon was actually achieved? There is nothing better than seeing student engagement in a creative space with a focus on learning. We need it more now than ever. Formal observations are a place where leaders can truly show teachers how they're there to support them, and they can learn from each other during that process.